Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You are listening to the Brilliance Business Show. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. Conversations with leading experts in business. And today I have a wonderful guest, Margaret Thorli. Margaret is an award-winning businesswoman, and our topic today is starting business with 0% finance. Margaret, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
Thank you very much, Mark, to inviting me to this amazing radio interview. Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you, Margaret. Before I get started, I just need to make a legal disclaimer that Margaret is not offering legal advice or legal assistance. So let's get started with the show. Margaret, can you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yes, thank you very much, Mark. My business is we're called H&R Training Professionals. What I do, I work within the communities, and I work with single fathers. I'm very, very passionate working with single fathers because I feel they need a lot of support. I work with lone parent and women, and my job is to motivate them. You know, we run courses such as business startups, mentoring programs right up to level 2, level 3, and we also work alongside school with young people that maybe the school has identified they may have the potential to go into gangs. So that's what we do. Then on that side, we train the trainers who then go to the schools to mentor those young people.
That must be so rewarding, Margaret, really knowing that you're having an impact, helping to change lives and really improve the people's circumstances. Who are your customers, Margaret? What clients do you look after?
The clients that we work with and look after, specifically lone parents, that's the clients we work and look after within our community. The reason being is I was working as a business coordinator, mentor, and during that journey, I realized a lot of the single fathers was not getting the support that they actually needed. So I targeted, when I set up the business, I saw like my target group became single fathers, lone parent, and women that needed that extra support for them to fulfill their potentials. So my main targets is single fathers, to inspire them, to motivate them, and to know that there is support out there for them.
And it really must be such a need that people really do need that support, Margaret. So I really admire what you are doing in this world. I know you're having a real big impact on people's lives. Now, Margaret, I have seen you speak. I know you speak on stages all over the UK. Can you tell me a little bit about that, please? What do you speak about when you're on stage?
Well, I'm an author of a book called A Single Mother in the Dating Game. Obviously, working with single parent, they have that kind of issues. So I speak on know who you are. As a single parent, single fathers, we most time we're so busy, bringing up our children, running a home, we forget who we are. So I speak on knowing who you are, turn the spotlight on yourself, develop yourself, invest in yourself, prepare your mind and your thoughts in terms of entering a relationship, if that's what you're looking for. Again, I do get invited in terms of also to speak in business. So I speak in business as well as, you know, on the dating side of things as well, in personal development, confident building, because as a single father or single parent, you tend to lose yourself in that journey because everything becomes more about your children, the family, the bills. You end up not knowing who you are. So those are the two topics that I do speak on stage about: setting up your business with zero finance, and also know who you are before you step out to go on a date.
It's really, really important. And a lot of people do struggle with confidence, Margaret. So it's great that you're going out there to give people that guidance that they need, especially single parents do need that confidence boost, a step in the right direction. You also mentioned investing in yourself, which is also really, really important. To move forwards, you must invest in yourself. Now, Margaret, what sets your business apart and what unique need are you filling for your customers?
For example, what set our business apart? I remember when I was kind of facing redundancy. And I've been running my own businesses from the age of 21. So for me, I always say business is in my blood. You can sort of like wake me up and say, right, Margaret, go and set up a business, and I'll do that without thinking too much. That's how confident, comfortable I feel about the business. So when I was setting up this charity to work with the disadvantaged people within our group, what I then did was go on a couple of training, like look at other training centers that are doing something similar to me. And what I felt that was missing is that personal touch, that business coaching, the life coaching, the personal development, that extra support to move them to set up their own business, removing the stumbling blocks. And most of the stumbling blocks that they have is the financial side of it. So what I then did was combine teaching all the way through using the curriculum, but also share with them my journey, or how I became the businesswoman that I am. What are the pitfalls? So it's very honest, down to earth training, and I find that has really set us apart and make it unique as well. And through the coaching and following them and really believe in themselves to say, yes, you can. And majority of the people that we work with, a lot of them has never heard the word, yes, you can. You can achieve that. Yes, you can. You can set up that business. Yes, you can. You can go for that job if that's what you really want. And having that personal touch, that mentoring, that coaching, that support has set our business aside and makes it stand out within the community that we work within.
And I can totally understand why, because when you are down to earth and you have great values, Margaret, and you are about serving, which you are bound to have an impact because you're coming from the heart, really serving and really giving people that belief that they can do what they didn't think that they could do. So I'm really impressed with your work, Margaret. I would like to know, why is your service especially important in today's modern world?
Oh my God, it's so important. As you know, we work with the group which are disadvantaged in our community. And to work with that group, moving them from receiving government assistance to actually become independent, running their own business from home and be able to make enough money to sustain their family, and also to go on holidays. That is phenomenal impacts and changes for us on that. Most of what makes our business as well right now, because of the lockdown, COVID-19, it has affected a great deal of our service user. So I find that I needed to adjust our program slightly to make sure we can be able to service what is the current need now. And majority of the parent, like I said, too, we work with lone fathers and lone parents. So you can just imagine the anxieties, the worries, because the school, all of a sudden, here you are, you got 5 children and you're on your own. And then you need to make sure that they are doing the training, the online teaching, because all these things are new to the lone parents that I'm working with. So most of the time now, as much as I'm doing the teaching and the training through Zoom, I also find that I have to address this issue with the lone parent. And so our service right now, that makes it very, very important. Not do we just focus on them to set up their own business, but we also focus currently now, their well-being, because I feel the well-being right now is the most important thing for the lone parents the lone parent and the women that we're currently working. So that's what we're doing.
I have actually seen this with my own eyes, Margaret, on social media. Lots of mums saying this is so hard having to teach my child from home. So it really is really a great topic and really on point at the moment, because people are going through stress and anxiety with these things. And I have encountered that with my own eyes too. So it's definitely a big problem out there, Margaret. Now, Margaret, you did actually mention you had a book. I'll backtrack on that a little bit. Can you just tell us briefly about your book, what it's called, and how people can get their hands on it?
My book is called A Single Mother and the Dating Game, Tips on How to Maneuver the Dating Minefield. I mean, as a single parent, being at home, bringing up your children. And the book is really, when I wrote it in terms of focusing on professional women who have brought up their children, and their children probably has left home, and they're sitting there. They're in a comfortable position. They don't really need to worry about how they're going to pay the bills and everything. But however, now they're ready to date. How do I go on a date? Because the dating has changed completely to what we used to know. And so that's the nutshell of the book. So I took quite different lots of topics on that as well. But you can get the book on www.margaretthorli.com.
That's amazing. And I'll make sure that I put a link to that in the comment section of our interview, Margaret. Now, can we just touch a tiny little bit on the product and the services that you offer? I know you have mentioned it briefly, but can you just share a little more detail on the kind of service and product you offer?
The kind of products that we offer, they're specially designed and bespoke for the women out there, the single fathers out there, so that they'll be able to balance later on the training, the work-life kind of scheme, and as well as bringing up the children. So the products that we're using at the moment there, we do level 2 to a level 3 mentoring. Okay, these are people who wants to become mentors. And I feel lone parent, they have got so much to offer. So we do that. We have a product which is called Train the Trainers. And this is training people who wants to go into the children's home to become mentors. So we have that product there. We have the business startups, which is very, very popular, because a lot of lone parents out there, I find they've got so much skills. and also setting up their own business is so much easier for them because they can work around their families. We have a course which is a teaching assistant course, but it goes right up to a level 3. So if you want to become a teacher, and then we got the coaching, the life coaching, and the mentoring with it. These are the courses we're currently offering.
And I know you have lots and lots of success stories. I want you to dig into your mind now, Margaret, and just give me one example of a success story that really stands out in your mind.
For me, the most success story, I mean, I've got numerous of those. There was a single father who came to us, and when he came for the training, it was employability training. I've looked at all his the application forms, the jobs he's applied for, and there's nothing wrong with the application forms, but he goes for the interview, but he doesn't get the job. So I looked at the CV and I said, look, everything seems okay. Why don't you get the job? So I asked him, I said, do you mind very much if I record you while we do interview role play? He says, of course, So we did that. And then we went and reviewed the interview. I said, this is where your mistakes are. So I began to work with that lone father for about a month. And then I said, right, let's apply for some more jobs. And he actually got a job, and that changed his life. Before he came to me, one of the issues he had, because he had a son who was 14 years old, and trying to discipline him or trying to speak to him, the son one day turned around and said to him, well, you're not working, so what do you want me to do? And I think that made him so sad. And he wanted so much to prove to his son that he is trying and getting that job. And that really changed the life of the family. And they went for the first holiday for a long time together with his son. So for me, that was a really success story. I mean, I have many of those.
That must make all the hard work and the dedication what you put to your work, Margaret, so worthwhile. And you said it yourself, that changed his life, that he went out and got a job, which at times some people struggle to get jobs. They struggle with their applications, and it's just incredible. I really, really am inspired by the work that you are doing, Margaret. Now, I'm coming to the end of our questions, Margaret. I've really enjoyed a conversation with you today. I've enjoyed learning more about you, your business, your speaking, your work as an author. My question to you is, what's next for Margaret? What's new? What are you working on right now?
Well, right now, because the COVID-19, a lot of business out there, they're really, really struggling. So one of the things that we're working currently is that to make sure all our training to be online, to have online presence. So like I'm currently working on the business startup training materials, so which means somebody can go in the comfort of their own time. They can access those training there. So that's what I'm working with currently. I've been doing this for, running this business nearly 8 years now. So I'm so like now, I need a new direction. So I'm moving slightly and trying to build in my speaking and also my writing. So that's what I'm doing currently.
Margaret, you are doing incredible things in this world. I'm sure lots of people look up to you for inspiration. You're a true leader, walking the walk, talking the talk. I've really enjoyed a conversation with you today. Thank you so much for being my guest today. My last question is, how can our audience connect with you if they would like some support, or even if they just want to follow your journey and check out what you're doing? What is the best way for people to connect with you?
Well, if people want to connect with us in terms of any training and coaching, setting up your own business to become a mentor, to be trained to become a mentor, you can connect with us. There's an application form you can fill in. You can connect with us on www.hrtrainingprofessionals.co.uk. If you want to follow my journey as an author, as a speaker, know who you are in relationship and everything, then you can connect with me on www.margaretthorli.com. And you can buy my books there as well on that website.
I urge all our listeners to check out Margaret's amazing book, and if you need her support with all the amazing things that she's doing in business, do reach out to Margaret. Margaret, thank you so much. You have been a wonderful guest today.
Thank you so much for having me. Really a pleasure being here.
It's been my pleasure. You have been listening to the Brilliance Business Show. Conversations with leading experts in business.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.